Hey Exploration Nation, today we're at the Pine Log Creek Trail System, which is north of the Pine Log Wildlife Management Area, which I did a video on that before, so be sure and check that out. But here there's supposed to be an old quarry filled with water back here on one of the trails, and there's supposed to be some other things back here, but I'm not sure if they're visible, don't know where they are. This is my first time in here, so let's head on out and see what's back here. It looks like a creek has definitely dried up here. Now the area has some history to it. There used to be a Cherokee Indian village along the banks of the creek that was over a mile long, which I wouldn't call that a village. To me that was a town, especially back in the 1800s. And 3 Cherokee chiefs were born here. Major Ridge, Chief John Vann, and the third one, I believe, was named Hicks. I'll have to look that up to be sure. But very important location. And the quarry back here was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in later years, which that would have been during the Great Depression. It's otherwise known as the CCC. And I don't know what else is back here, other than some pretty scenery. It's a very nice day today. We've had temperatures around 100 degrees this past week, and today it's in like the upper 70s, around 80 right now, with much lower humidity. So very nice day. Not a cloud in the sky. It looks like a postcard up there. And unfortunately, the 100 plus degree temperatures are going to return later this week. So I figured we'd get out here and enjoy this while we could. Okay, we just met another hiker back here, going back the other way, back towards the parking lot. And she gave me a heads up of a copperhead up here. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled. They are out. And she took a picture of it, and it was full grown. So, and there's no doubt about it, definitely copperhead. So, as you can see, the favorite habitat of snakes, a high grass on both sides, summer day. And so they are out here liable to see something else too. But just an extra bit of caution and should be all right. Snakes normally run when they hear you coming. So one of the exceptions is copperhead. They don't run. They're not aggressive typically, but they don't like to run either. All right, let's take a look at the creek here. And that water is crystal clear. That's amazing. Hard to find streams like that now. All right. Now let's cross the bridge. Now, the Copperhead was up here right after crossing the bridge. So we'll just take a look-see, real careful. The one thing about Copperheads is they blend in with their surroundings real easily. So just take it slow and look. I'd rather take a little more time and be safe than try to get in a hurry and end up with a hurry-up trip to the emergency room, which from here is about 20 miles. So not exactly around the corner. I don't see it. I think it's moved on. The other hiker probably rattled its cage enough for it to move on. Yeah, I think it has eased on. I am glad that I wore my boots now. I started to just wear sneakers. They're not exactly snake leggings, but they do offer a little more protection from snakes than just regular sneakers. So I'm glad I wore them today. Yeah, we're past the point where she saw it, so I think we're good. Alright, coming up on another little bridge here. And this is another creek that's dried up. May not have been a full-time creek. May just be what's called a wet weather creek. And there's a little water still in that section of it right there after it comes underground. Looks like at one time it came above ground and carved out a place underground maybe. On looking out for critters. Most of the time you're not going to have any problems. I hiked for years and years and never had a problem with a wild animal or anything. I've run into a few. That's a squirrel, but never had any problems. Now this is what's called a pointing tree, and from what I've read, there is a lot of disagreement among historians as to whether these actually existed or not. One camp says that the tree was intentionally cut by Native Americans to point the direction to something significant, like a village or source of water or something like that. And then the other camp says not so much. So I don't know. Historians are divided on that, whether it actually existed. This may just be a tree that was broken by a storm or something, felled by a storm, and then just grew straight up. As you can see, it wasn't enough to sever the trunk apparently. So this may just be something that happens in nature. I've seen these many times, and it's always interesting to see one, but it would be cool if historians could find documentation one way or the other about that. Well, we come to the first intersection here. Of course, this is the way back to the parking area. And we're on the West Loop Trail right here. And the East Loop Trail intersects right here. So we've got two choices. We can go try and find Bigfoot. I don't think that Parks and Recreation put that up there. That's a sticker, but it looks cool anyway. Alright, we're right here. We can take the easy way, or easier. Well, actually, we can go straight to the quarry right here on a trail rated as easy. Coming back to here, a little more difficult in places. The West Loop is strenuous in places. So, which way should we go? Okay, West Loop it is. I'm up for a challenge and don't think it'll be any problem. It's been a while since I've hiked all the time and I've missed it, and so I'm getting back into it and making videos while I'm out here. And so if you have followed me for any length of time, then you've seen my videos, one by myself and others with the retromantic of the abandoned youth camp. And even though I didn't film all of that, that was some tough going to get back there. About an hour's hike, both up and down. What's going on here? I better keep moving. I think that was may have been a wild beehive inside the tree, but didn't have any trouble with it, so, and she didn't either, so I think we'll be all right. Okay, and here's where probably the strenuous part begins. I've always wanted to go uphill going in, but at the abandoned youth camp, it's both. You go downhill part of the way and uphill and back downhill, and the bad thing about it is coming back out, you got a pretty long grade uphill when you're exhausted. Alright, gotten to the top of a hill. A bit strenuous, they were right. But one thing I want to caution you about, if you come here and you take the West Loop Trail, when you leave that junction back there, be careful. This is a narrow trail, as you can see, and it's hard to see on camera maybe, but that is straight down, and that is a long way. You trip here, you got problems. A problem that won't end for a minute or two. So, do use caution when coming here. It's beautiful, it's scenic, it's quiet, but it's easy to fall and lose your footing right here. Here, I think you can see it better, how much of a grade down that is. So, just use caution watch where you step. There are a lot of roots that you could trip over, rocks, so just be careful. Came up on this right here. Looks like somebody was camping right here. Not supposed to be. The area is closed at dusk, so they weren't supposed to, but supposed to being the operative phrase here. Alright, there's a bench right here, so I'm taking a bit of a breather. And while we're doing that, an additional little note of history is that Hernando De Soto visited this area, and I think it said 1570 is when he was here. So a lot of notable people here at one time or another. A lot of history here. And I got somebody behind me. Sounds like a family, so I think it'll be all right. All right, we crested the hill, and it was a bit strenuous. Not too bad. And no critter sightings. No snakes, no Bigfoot. So we're continuing on towards the quarry. See that? Hadn't seen anything else either, like the remains of any structures or anything. So I haven't read any accounts of anything like that. So quarry may be all that's back here. Oh, cool. Check that out. I love the sights along the trail. There's always something different, and it's nice to get out and reconnect with nature. Alright, well, let's head on and see what's ahead. Alright, coming up on another map. Let's see where we are. We are right here. Quarry's right here, so we're doing pretty good. Not bad at all. And no Bigfoot sightings yet, but we're still hoping. And unfortunately, the vandals have been here. That about figures. Or that may just be rotten. Or rotten and they just had a little bit of help. Alright, well, let's head on and get on over here to the quarry. Let's see. Don't know about how far that is. Maybe about another mile. Not bad. Alright, let's go. Okay, as you can see, we came up on a fork here. Now, one's blazed with a blue blaze, and I was thinking maybe to the right, but wasn't sure which way to go. And a couple coming back the other way said that to the right is the way to go, and they said anytime you come to a place where you wonder which way, keep going to the right. If you go in other directions, you'll miss the quarry. So quarry is what we're looking for, so let's head that way. And many thanks to the couple that I just met that pointed me in the right direction. It's all a loop, so it's not that you get lost, but he said going the other way you'd miss the quarry, so definitely don't want to do that. So if y'all happen to be watching, I really do appreciate the directions here. It helped a bunch. Alright, we're continuing on towards Quarry. Finally made it up to the top of a hill. And what's this up here on the right? It's a large piece of something. Well, I wonder what that is. That plane crash wreckage, maybe? There's a plane crash site not a real long way from here, but brother, if I walk that far, I'm gonna have to hitch a ride back. So I'm not that close to it. See what this is. No, this is just tin off of a roof or something. And what's it doing way out here? Being all twisted up like that. I guess at some time or another a bad storm or maybe a tornado tore it off of a shed or something and carried it out here. And if that's the case, that came a long way. Because it's a good little shot from here to the nearest house. Glad I wasn't here when that came sailing in here. That wouldn't have been good. Well, when you're hiking in the woods, you never know what you'll find. If you find anything. All in all, it's a nice day, actually. Kind of hard to see through the trees, but still no clouds. Alright, come up on another junction here. And it says 1.0 East Loop. Alright. I can promise you that first sign we saw, it said 2.0, that wasn't 2 miles. And now we're way further back. It's showing 1. So that may mean 1 more mile to go. I don't know. But the man said, stay to the right when you're not sure. So, right it is. And I wonder if we just found it. Rocks look like we are here. Yes, we are here. Finally made it to the old quarry. And like I said, that is pretty. Oh, it feels good. And as you can see, the fish didn't run from me after all that. They are definitely used to people. Now, I don't know what kind of rock they quarried here. Yeah, that is really pretty. There's a fish looking at me. I don't know if you can see it. There's a couple of them. Let me see if I can get in. Yeah, there we go. And it looks like they're used to being fed, coming over like that. Yeah, this is really pretty. I'll try to find out what exactly they quarried here and put it in the description below if I can find it. Alright, now we found the quarry. And there are quite a number of fish in there. Good sized one jumped out there just a minute ago. And a lady that was hiking back here also said she'd seen people fishing back here quite often, so that's about what I figured. These fish are very used to people, because after I did all that splashing around in the water and they were staying right there, they're real used to people. And picnic table. Nice place to picnic if you can bring stuff back in here. Boy. Now they say this is a 4-mile round trip, but I'm thinking more like it's 4 miles one way. Oh, mercy. I'll have to check it out and see. Yeah, this is pretty. Real pretty. This was worth every step of the way right here. Coming on around the end of the quarry, there's some rocks up here. I don't think ended up here naturally. At least that big slab, that looks like that was quarried out and never used. And I don't know what kind of rock that is. If you happen to know, tell me in the comments below, because I would like to know. Some of that almost looks like marble, but I really don't know. Here you can see the striations in it. Go back here a little way and see, I see another rock formation. I have to keep an eye out. Well, here's a better view of those rocks. Those definitely look like slabs that were quarried out and just weren't used. Something might be living in there. Now, since there are no drill holes, they weren't using explosives, if that's what this is. But I really don't think it's naturally occurring. See the slab right there, and then the vertical slab. That looks like rocks or stone they just didn't use. That got quarried out. And this almost looks like a pile of rubble that came out of the quarry of unusable material. And all these rocks have striations in them, so something was here. Well, thank you for joining me. That's it. It's been a great hike, a great day, beautiful day out. I'm so glad you could join me. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, exit straight ahead.